Hey guys, it's that Dividend guy coming at you with another Robinhood portfolio update. So I have not done the update for Thursday yet, and I wanted to kind of explain myself. So I did do a video, me selling out of multiple positions, and I wanted to go ahead and explain why I did that before I put out the portfolio update. So the reason I sold out of WP Carey, out of Alliant Energy, out of Lincoln Financial, out of Mercury Insurance, and out of FAF stock was because I felt like there were too many holdings. And one of the big things that I truly do believe is that there are always stocks that you like more than others. So, for example, I would rather put money into Coca Cola than WP Carey, regardless of the dividend. So, there are just companies that I liked more. And honestly, I liked Aflac more than I liked the other three insurers that I owned, so I wanted to put the money into Aflac. See, originally I thought that I needed to be more diversified because when I first started, I didn't feel as confident in insurance. But looking at the metrics and studying the companies more, I liked Aflac more than I liked any other insurer. So why own any other insurer besides Aflac? If I'm so bullish on it and I want that money to be put, I want more money to be put towards Aflac than any other insurer, why not take the money out of the other insurers that I like less than Aflac and put it in that stock? So a lot of it is because I've been watching the Berkshire annual Hathaway meetings. I'm all the way up to I'm up to 2020 now. And one of the big red herrings that they talk about is people over diversify because they don't understand what they own. And I do understand what I own. I've studied every company in the portfolio very, very thoroughly, to the point that I'm not nervous to put a big chunk of money in there. I mean, if you look at the equity in some of these holdings, it's a lot. It's a big percentage of the portfolio. Um, so like if you look at equity, like Realty Income now has $2,200. Like Coca Cola has 1,000. Allstate's the lowest in the portfolio, besides the one I just added today. The two that I added today being Hershey and Proctor and Gamble. But I mean, almost 8 grand in Altria, over 5 grand in AT&T, $6,300 in AbbVie, now $5,000 in Aflac, and $3,700 in Enbridge stock. So I don't have an issue putting a lot in a company because I'm bullish on that company and I want the money there. So that's why I wanted to explain myself a little bit today, because I trimmed down the portfolio, because diversification is protection against ignorance. And I don't feel like I'm an ignorant investor. I know I'm only 25. I've got wet behind the ears. I've only been doing this for a few years. But I want a more concise portfolio because I feel like the companies I'm in are great companies. And like I said, I don't feel like I'm sacrificing returns. I feel like I picked out the stocks that I feel like are the highest quality. Because if you made me choose between WP Carey and O, I would have picked O. If you would have made me pick between, you know, Lincoln Financial, FAF stock, and MCY stock, I would have picked Aflac. So why have those holdings if I'm more bullish on something else in the portfolio? This is me just really being more concise and putting money where I feel the most comfortable with it. I had nothing wrong with any of the stocks that I've sold. I know I've bought and sold a lot for a long-term investor. Um, but I want that to stop. A lot of that is because I felt like I needed to diversify more because I was so, I'm so new to it. But um, I only kept what I would call core holdings. So the stocks that I really want to hold, ones that if you put Mercury or FAF against Aflac, I wouldn't sell Aflac. I wouldn't want to. That's the one that I'd want to hold on to. So that's how I determined the stocks that I was picking. And last night when I was watching the meeting, I was scrolling through the portfolio while I was watching, because I do that every once in a while, and I just thought, there's too much in here. I wanted 15 stocks, 15 like 20, and I'm like, why keep buying? Say like, why buy Mondelez? Because I love the stock. Like I love the product line. I buy a lot of their stuff. Nothing against Mondelez stock, but I prefer Coca Cola. I like Coca Cola more than I like Mondelez. So why own Mondelez, right? Why have a thinner amount of money in Coca Cola versus and have Mondelez versus just putting that money into Coca Cola. Which, as you guys can see, that stock Coca Cola didn't get any money allocated to it because I didn't put money into Mondelez. If I did, I would have reallocated that capital. So that's really all I wanted to do, guys, was trim down the portfolio to those core holdings that I did not want to get rid of, the ones that I was the most bullish on, and boost up some of those positions. So I added some Realty Income. I added 11 shares there. I added more AT&T, about 4 more shares. I added Proctor and Gamble because I wanted to. That's one of the stocks that's been on my watch list for a while, on and off. But I did really want Proctor and Gamble. I wanted more Aflac, so I doubled my share count. I wanted Hershey because I love the brands and I love the diversification. And honestly, I think I'm more bullish on Hershey than I am on the insurance companies that I owned and on Travelers as well. Nothing wrong with those companies, but I like Hershey's more. So why not own Hershey's? And then, of course, Enbridge, I'm keeping it at 100 shares because it pays a great dividend, and I feel like it's a good position. So I just wanted to tell you guys why. Honestly, it's because I was watching the Berkshire meetings, and I think Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett are completely correct. I think that, to have companies that you're not as bullish on is a waste of time. Why put the money in there when you could why put money into Mondelez when I could put more into Coca Cola? From here on out, if the stocks that I'm looking at, if I don't like them as much, or if I'm not as bullish on them, or if I'm not as big of a fan of them of Mondelez as I am of Coca Cola, then I'm not going to put money into it. That's how it should have been the entirety of the time. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry, I know it's a bit of a rant video instead of an update, but I wanted to make sure you guys know why I sold those stocks. I had positions in the portfolio that I liked. There's nothing wrong with those companies, but I'm more bullish on other options in the portfolio, and I want the portfolio to reflect that. So I reallocated capital. I'm not going to be making any major changes. I have the stocks that I want. The only other stock that I'm going to be buying that does not pay a dividend is Berkshire, which that's been a want for a while. I've wanted to buy it. It's going to be our anniversary stock. So every year I'm going to buy a share of Berkshire Annual Hathaway stock, Class B shares. So I actually wanted to buy it, but after I bought the shares of Hershey or the share of Hershey and Procter and Gamble, I didn't have enough. I could have bought the 3 shares of Berkshire, but I figured it'd be better to allocate capital where dividends would be compounding. So I'll buy Berkshire stock soon here. But thank you guys so much for watching. So I did add some shares. I added 11 shares of Realty Income. I added another 4 shares of AT&T. Added Procter and Gamble stock, added 52 shares of Aflac, added a share of Hershey, and that's it. So I added more shares with the stocks that I sold. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. I post updates on the portfolio Monday through Friday. I do have Wednesday's video coming out shortly. I should have it around like 8 or 9 o'clock. Kind of depends on when I get home to make it public. And then I'll record Thursday's update after I'll put that out on Friday, so I can get the why I sold my stock video out, and this one explaining, the stock video showing that I sold the holdings, and then this one explaining why I did it. And then I'll have the update come out on Friday as well as Friday's update. So you guys are going to get a lot of content from me here in a short spurt, but I really wanted to take it kind of back to the basics, really trim down the portfolio and only put more capital into the stocks that I was truly bullish on. So those being, of course, AT&T, Procter and Gamble, Aflac, and Hershey, but of course Coca Cola as well. I will be getting a dividend from Altria on the 30th, and that will be going towards Aflac stock. So. And then Aflac now pays me $33, and Enbridge pays me $83, so that gives me enough cash to buy 3 shares of Coca Cola. Cool thing is with AT&T and AbbVie, they make enough cash now that I can buy 3 shares of Aflac, and then it just rinse and repeats. So I'll be buying Coca Cola shares, AT&T shares, and Aflac shares every single month, which is exactly that was the goal for the year in the beginning of the year anyway, was to allocate capital more to insurance, which will be Aflac, and the core holdings that I'm the biggest fan of. So I'm happy to kind of bring it back to the basics, and I think the returns will reflect the the focus of the portfolio, and I think that will will reflect in higher returns. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button, and when you do, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any updates. I post videos Monday through Friday on my portfolio. So if you guys want to watch me either make mistakes for the long term or make good decisions, we'll see how it goes in retrospect. But I'm really happy with my decision, and I think it will reflect in better returns. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with the regularly scheduled Robinhood portfolio update. Take care, guys.